All right, let's move on to new releases. Some big new releases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not gotten to play as much Borderlands 3 as I would have liked because I was in Memphis.
Too busy playing Bus Simulator?
Right. Well, basically, yes. I was in van for 16 hours out of the
Van
last
Simulator.
days. But I am enjoying Borderlands 3. I'm probably only an hour and a half, 2 hours into it so far.
Oh, they're going to say I'm probably the only person enjoying Borderlands 3.
No, I know for a
agree.
fact I'm not because I know a lot of people are enjoying Borderlands 3.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they're not enjoying it. Maybe they're just drawn to it from the random loot drops.
I'm pretty
help
sure
themselves.
people do like playing Borderlands 3. And other people do not.
That sounds like it makes a lot of sense.
That's fine.
Have you played a lot, Wombat? You don't even have it.
I don't have it. I
Played
got
any.
denied, remember?
He's boycotting
yeah.
this game.
I'm boycotting. Everyone listening should too.
Didn't
If
the
you're
guy?
on the fence, don't get it.
Didn't you get denied with bad grammar too, like a typo or something?
Oh, I think there may have been.
Typo,
It
yeah.
was. I think the guy probably wrote it on the toilet.
Right, because he wanted to think about you. He wanted the
Yeah.
email to smell as bad as possible.
Probably.
He was putting all of his bad feelings into your
into
rejection.
that one email. He's like, sorry, shit stain. I mean, Wombat.
He's like, what can I do while I write this email rejecting this guy? Let me take a
Right.
shit.
Let me listen to what he's had to say about Borderlands 3 for the last 6 months.
I've had nothing but praise.
You refused
think
to
they
buy
really-
it for.
They're not going back to list. Who has time for that?
Oh, they do.
They
2K does.
they do.
Probably.
But why wouldn't they just send the game out like a week after it comes out?
It's fine. They don't have to.
They don't have to do anything.
Right.
They ran out of codes.
Right. But
Code
that doesn't
machine
cost
broke.
them anything.
They
And
don't-
it's
but it doesn't-
goodwill.
Code machine broke.
Like if you're going to put that much effort into like trying to manipulate the system by denying, look, Wombat, I agree that we don't deserve review copies of stuff like this. Like whatever, if you get it, if you give it to us, whatever. If not, but them denying like these big outlets, they're
We're a big
obviously
outlet. We're important influencers. How dare you?
Okay.
How dare you?
Everything's relative. So relatively speaking,
How dare
there are
We-
huge outlets.
We talked
that
about this
got-
last week. Can we talk
I
about
know
the
they
game?
got rejected, but I'm just saying, like, if they're really.
I'm more deserving than Kotaku. Like that entire organization, I am more deserving. I don't think that's a question.
I'm saying,
And I think all of our listeners would agree with me.
we do agree. I've conceded the point to you already. But what I'm saying is, if you're 2K and you're really trying to work the system, right? Which they are, like it's obvious. Why not work it even more by throwing out the free codes after release to all the people who they rejected in the beginning, just to garner some free will? Because it doesn't cost them anything.
You mean goodwill?
Goodwill, good free will, free goodwill.
Free goodwill. Yeah, free goodwill.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna play the system, play the system.
I don't
You know
think they
what I'm
care about
saying?
reviews. They don't.
Well, they do care about them because
but they care about that they don't care about them. On Metacritic, Borderlands 3 has 7 critics reviews.
right, because
7.
right, because those are the 7 outlets they gave codes to.
That
Not
doesn't-
codes. Excuse me,
all
they
these
didn't give
other
codes.
all these other outlets could be reviewing it right now.
Right, but they're like, it's a long game. Why are they going to bust their ass to review the game? It's not valuable to the outlets anymore if they're going to put up a review a week later. Even if it's a day late, it's almost useless to them because there's so much competition. I mean, you can't deny that they're trying to,
Oh no, they definitely are, but they also don't.
they care. You
need-
can't say they don't care about review scores. Of
No,
course
they don't need. They don't need review scores.
Well, they think they do because otherwise they would just give out they'd give them none out, or they'd give all of them out, or they wouldn't select. Like they're nitpicking over everything.
To an extent, yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, I
they
mean-
definitely are, but it's
So they care.
They care, but that doesn't affect their bottom line at all.
Well, they must disagree because
No, I mean to just like say no, we're out of codes. We don't need to give them out to anybody. Like they don't have to do anything in that scenario and
Of
still
course
be
not.
fine.
They don't have to do anything, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you want to maximize your cunning, do my plan.
I think they're. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about the game.
I mean, to be honest, like the game isn't doing it for me.
I
Because-
like it.
I know you like it, but to me, it doesn't really seem. When you look at other big AAA games this year, like this is just like a slight iteration on Borderlands 2. Like even graphically, it's like
it's no. I mean, it's improved graphically.
Sure, but not to the extent of other big titles. Like
It doesn't look like Gears.
it doesn't look like Assassin's
Nothing looks
Creed.
like Gears.
It doesn't look like Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed has always been very good looking, but I mean, like the last couple games. I mean, how many times can you say "wow" while playing a game? Like it gets to be ridiculous. Like, and Borderlands, you're like, "Wow, I can't even see through the fog."
I haven't got to the fog area yet, but
How are your ceiling stats?
Or I have to look up to the ceiling to see the gun sets. I mean, that's
patchable, right?
But it's weird. I'm not going to nitpick over that, although it's ridiculous that
it's funny. But that's not a.
Shipwreck likes this game because it obviously takes place in denial.
To me, once I realize it
didn't really make sense, but okay.
It's okay.
I was tying it to Assassin's Creed, but yeah,
That's a bit of a stretch.
you had to like live in my brain to kind of get the joke,
Right.
But,
Somebody is laughing out there.
yeah, you laughed.
Right. I'm not somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just not like. I realize why I'm drawn to it, and it's because it's just like basically opening loot boxes.
Are you playing with other players at all?
No, I haven't played with anybody.
Oh.
And I'm only like level 7, maybe.
Oh, so you haven't played much either.
I haven't played much, but
you've barely played more than an hour or two.
yeah, it's not doing it for me. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I think they've done quite a bit to update the game. There's a lot more customization. There's like the guns feel a lot different than they did in the last game.
I feel like there's a good variety, more variety in the guns. And
there definitely
I like the way the guns feel for sure. Like, no question. I think the shooting is good. I like the faster movement.
Mm-hmm. I
like that a lot.
You can climb up on top of stuff now.
Mantling.
Yep.
I believe they call it.
You can do the slide stuff. The movement is better. The vehicles, you can customize those as well now. Like, you could do it a little bit in the first game, but not much.
It feels, it just feels shallow to me. It feels like it feels like such a shallow experience. Once I realize that I like it because I'm opening loot boxes. I'm shooting dudes and then opening loot boxes. Okay, they're not technically loot boxes,
but they're not loot boxes. Like, there's a difference between loot boxes that you're paying for, or
no, I get it. I forget about the paying part. I'm not.
Right.
The paying part has nothing to do with it. It's still like randomly generated surprise, and that.
Well, yeah, that's
I know. I understand. Like, it's a loot
that's
game.
Like every game. Now.
It's a loot game. Well, dude, even Control has that in there, right?
I don't know.
They have loot boxes in the game. Like boxes, what you open up, and it seems like random mods for your guns pop out or something.
Yeah, sure, but. Sure, it's a mechanic. It's a random chest that you open.
It's a random. So, like, regardless of whether the game's offering them for sale or not, like, and it does something to people, and it gets them engaged in the game, like, psychologically.
That's fine.
And I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
About
like
Skyrim,
right?
Diablo.
But any game mechanic that
that's
I get
essentially a genre of game.
I get it, but I just what I'm saying is like. The actual gameplay loop outside of that in Borderlands 3
it's not as much fun as actually getting a loot box.
Exactly. I'm saying it's just it's shallow. It's not. You can't compare it to Skyrim. You cannot compare it to Assassin's Creed.
The game that centers around Skyrim is a better game than Borderlands 3.
It's just it's like, here's a level. You're going to clear these enemies out. You're going to get a loot box at the end, and
That's the loop. That's the gameplay loop.
I know. It doesn't.
You're either on,
but it doesn't look that. To me, like it's visually, it's not that impressive. It's just the best part of it to me is the loot part at the end. Like Diablo, like the Diablo games, like were really the later ones maybe had some problems with the marketplace, but like the experience was really polished, and you're getting random loot in the same way. But then again, also you're just clicking on shit. It's pretty shallow.
Yeah. I mean,
so we're all being
that's all this has ever
basically.
been Diablo with guns. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. It felt this time after like just reading stuff and playing a lot of games with loot in it. This one just seems more shallow to me than other ones.
Appreciate that shallowness, I think.
Sure.
It's something that's very comforting to play, and the co-op playing with Mrs. Shipwreck is definitely the big hook, I would say. If you're not going to play it co-op, I could see that it's not as much fun just solo.
You're not doing split screen, right? You're on separate.
We tried split screen because we play a lot of Borderlands 2 split screen.
Oh, okay.
So we tried split screen on this one, but it doesn't allow for vertical split screen. In the past games, you could choose whether you wanted horizontal or vertical. This one only does horizontal, and that is not how we would prefer it. And then coupled with the UI issues of small fonts, and maybe I'm misremembering, or maybe this is truly happening. The issue of the loot, similar to like you're saying, you have to look at the ceiling.
Yeah.
I think her like loot descriptions were popping up into my half of the screen. So it was not enjoyable.
It was not ready.
So I installed it on 2 Xboxes, and we have that set up, so that's fine. I was prepared.
Yeah, I would like to play it with some people online.
You should play it with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll play. You're the you took Beastmaster, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's me.
Me too.
Yeah, I heard that was the way to go.
He's the most unique character, I would say. Mm-hmm. The other ones are kind of like mixtures of previous Borderlands characters.
Yeah, I saw some video of him. Like some guy built him out to be so powerful that he would just go into a room, do his like ultimate where he turns invisible and shoots like the beam. But it was like a million things came out and everything ricocheted. It's just like everything just dropped dead. Any room he walked into, he pulled the trigger once, everything dead. It's pretty funny.